I've been wanting to talk about this for the last few weeks, but I haven't had the chance because I was worried that my partner would know. Well, she could listen and hear the story behind what I'm about to tell you.
Is she likely to?
Well, she's on a night shift now, so she's gone. So we're safe.
But is she likely to listen
safe.
to the podcast or just listening when you're recording? Is that your concern?
Listen to me recording, yeah.
Oh, I mean, because
she's not going to.
I mean, my wife listens to our podcast. Only sometimes, not every episode, but sometimes.
Yeah, no, never. She doesn't really do that kind of stuff. Like, she doesn't really listen to audio. She just she's mainly on the short videos. She likes all the short little tips and tricks. But anyway.
So what have you done that's made you so concerned?
Well, let's explain. Hold on. So basically, for my birthday, I received an iPhone 15 Pro, which I'm not really like. Josh, you know me as a person quite well. I'm not really a phone guy. I don't really care what phone I have. The main things I'm just interested in is, can it play YouTube? Can it access a web browser like Google Chrome, Firefox? Can it use WhatsApp? And that is pretty much it. That's all I need a phone for. I don't like to play games or anything like that. I'm not interested.
You don't
in
even
like
have
the camera or anything like that.
You got children and you're not bothered about the camera. Like, I don't understand that.
Well, this is the point. So she bought me it.
Well, because you were taking really photos. Is this where it stemmed from?
Well, not really that. Yeah, basically, the camera on the phone I was using, not very good. It's rubbish. So she bought me it because she's like, okay,
some of the
now
pictures that we've had, just to set the stage, some of the pictures that we've had through on the WhatsApp group have been partially obstructed by your camera or your phone cover or your thumb, badly out of focus. And then it turned out for a while that your rear camera doesn't work, so you're taking all of the pictures with your front-facing camera but pointing it away from you so you can't see the screen or something crazy like that. Is that something that happened a little while ago?
Well, yeah, so I have...
Because I think I was trying to troubleshoot something with you, like with the recording or with your computer or something, and you were like, let me put the camera on, but I can't see what I'm pointing at. Oh, so hopefully you can see what you need to see. So, yeah, to say...
That's because one of the...
It all comes down to the fact that you, mate, are a cheapskate. So you have A, Android phones, and B, shitty Android phones. And you keep them forever. Do you contest that?
The reason why the quality was so bad is because that particular phone, the back of the camera is like cracked, and it kind of affects the camera for some reason because it's cracked.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
So that's why it's so those pictures or that video was so blurry because I was using that phone.
Oh, because we're looking through the crack.
Yeah. Basically, I received the iPhone 15 Pro. I had to pretend that of course I'm not. I didn't pretend. I was like, yeah, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money. And the thing is, she bought the phone outright. And that's like 1,200 quid. Okay, so I wasn't grateful. I was more like, oh my god, you've spent all this money on me. I don't know what this is way too much for a present. I'm just like, God, now I've got this 1,200 quid phone with me, and she's like, okay, yeah, I see what you're struggling with. It is a lot of money, and if it does break, then it's gonna cost a lot of money and stuff. But okay, I've got you this little bag, this little carrier case bag that you can put round you, and you can put your phone inside it,
like a strap that goes around your waist.
No, not around my waist. It's around my neck. So it's like it seems like a buzz. It's like a buzz. I got this like thing. It's like right. And the thing is, that's the thing. I do put it around me. Like I wear it all the time, and the phone always goes back in there.
All right, okay.
And I'm like, okay, fair enough. This does cost a lot of money. So she's bought me this little thing as well. Every time I'm walking around, I'm always having this little carrier case for the phone and the charger. So yeah, that it was. People at work are like, well, you look very strange. I'm like, I don't care. Like, explain why I'm wearing this thing.
I'm protecting this investment.
Protecting my investment pretty much. But stupidly, one day I decided, you know what? It's a really nice day. I need to mow the lawn. And I think the kids were like, I have 2 kids, and they were like I think they were like stressing me out because they got kind of upset with the noise of the lawnmower. and they keep coming in and out of the garden. I was like, look, if you don't like the noise of the lawnmower, you need to go inside. Okay, let me do what I got to do, and then I'll call you when I'm finished. And I kind of forgot that I left the phone in my pocket. Okay, I don't know how I did it. I don't know. I remember for some reason I walked into a door. Very stupidly. I just and I don't know if that caused the problem or me just going around with the lawnmower and having it in my pocket. But what happened is once I cut the lawn, I was like, okay, I want to check something on my phone. So I sat down in the kitchen and I noticed that the edge of the phone was a little bit cracked. And I'm like, well, you're just like, what? Wait a minute, this is not...
When you say the edge, so the 15, it's a flat-sided phone. It's like a square edge. Glass goes right up to the edge, and then there's like a metal strip that goes all the way around the side, and then on the back there's glass. Where is the what did you call it? Like a crack? Is that in the glass or is it in the metal?
In the screen on the left hand side, top left, and then
on the actual glass itself.
Yeah, on the screen. So okay, and the thing is, it seemed very tiny. I was like, oh god. But the thing is, it just slowly got worse and worse and worse, and it started spreading.
Oh, what? Like just a black dot that was.
Well,
growing.
The lines, like a window. You smash a window, right?
Yeah.
You smash, and you start. Say if you start trying to touch it, maybe I don't know, try and fix it stupidly. That crack kind of, it's like ice, water and ice. You put your footsteps on the ice, and there's like a crack, and then you put your footsteps somewhere else, and then it starts cracking even more. So
I was just wondering if it was the glass itself, or if the screen had been damaged beneath it. But okay, so just at the moment, just the glass is.
Well, that's the thing. This is the thing. I think you're going to it.
Maybe there's more.
You're
maybe
going
there's more.
ahead. I was like, the phone is the phone's cracked. I'm f***ed. I'm dead. I am a dead man. And if she sees this...
You got insurance?
No, I haven't, no. I got no insurance. Okay. So I start panicking like a madman. I'm like, oh my God. What do I do? And I was like, should I just, I was thinking two options in my head. Number one, first option, do not tell her and try and fix the phone without her knowing that it's actually been damaged. Number two, just confess to her and say, look, I've accidentally damaged it and get it repaired. Of course, I have to take the more risky route and go with option number one. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't go with option number one? Who wouldn't? If she found out, I swear to God, I would not be living here right now. She would have kicked me out of the house. This iPhone, she's like, when I don't have it in my little bag around my, my little purse thingy, she's like, where's your phone? Well, oh yeah, oh God, she loves that thing more than me. And you know what's going to happen next. The first thing I do in any situation where I have a problem in my life, the first person I call.
Your dad?
My dad. So I'm like, Dad. So I go to the garden. I'm like, Dad, you're going to have to help me. I don't know how, but I've cracked this phone. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I've broken it. He's like, you like.
Yeah,
what?
Sure.
You're such a, you can't look after it. Anyway, so he's like, look, I can't help you. We're around the hairdressers. So they're in Hitchin. I'm like, okay. Do you think you could go to like a repair shop in the afternoon? He's like, no, I'm not going to a repair shop.
You can't take that phone to a repair shop.
I was like, and I was looking up in Dunstable, like repair shops. I was like, look, you could just take it there. And he's like, look, that, like you said, that can't go to there. It needs to go to a proper iPhone store.
Yeah.
So he's like, right, you're in luck. We're going to Milton Keynes tomorrow. And there's an iPhone store there. I was like, okay. So I was thinking, what do I do? What do I do in this situation? Do I leave it in the bag and just don't get it out? So like leave it in the bag and just don't get it out. But then I'm scared because sometimes she says, oh, can I use your phone to do something? And if she says that, what am I going to say? Like, yeah, here you go. And then she sees it's cracked. So the other situation is like, the situation I did was, I was like, okay, I got to get rid of this phone. I got to get it out of the house. So I said, okay, I've finished with the trim cutter. I'm just going to return it back to my dad's because he needs it back. So, I had And that wasn't a lie. It's like, yeah, he needed it back. So I was going to go there eventually, but I was like, okay, yeah, I need to do this anyway, so I might as well just do it now, and I need to get rid of this phone. So I got my phone, and I was like, look, I rang my dad. I was like, oh, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the phone here in your house, and then when you go to Milton Keynes, just take it to the iPhone repair store, right? And get it repaired. And he's like, well, that could cost you like, 300, 400 quid. I was like, look, I don't care how much it costs. Just pay it and I'll pay you back. And then obviously,
wow, that doesn't sound like you.
But obviously, I was like, okay, well, not pay you back, but I was like, look, I'll transfer you the money. So I actually, and well, at this point, we didn't even know the phone had warranty. So he's like, well, look, just tell me, can you tell me if it has warranty? And I was like, I don't know. So he goes, all right, we need to find out first if it's got warranty. No point paying 400, 500, we need to find out. So they rang up Apple support or something, and they were like, we got this phone, we don't know if it's got warranty or not, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, okay, if you give me the serial number of the phone, we can tell you if it's got warranty or not, and how much it will cost. So that
the phone tells you in the settings.
I don't know. I'm an Android guy,
all
right? So they
all right, okay, carry
basically
on.
they give the serial and they're like, no, it hasn't got any insurance, and and they say, okay, how much would it cost to like replace the screen? And they were like, normally maybe like 300 to 350 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds about right.
And then my mum was like, oh, so because then what happened was I had to pretend again, right? I had to pretend again because I had to give further instructions to my parents and find out what was going on. So I said to my family, said to my partner, I was like, oh, I think my mum says she's having problems with the computer. I'm just going to go around there and give her a hand. Right, so I went around, I was like, what's going on? You know the plan for tomorrow. And then she's like, look, it's going to cost 300 quid. You're just going to have to, tell Mav it. It's not even that bad. You're just going to have to tell her and just deal with it. You can't spend 300 quid. I was like, Mum, you're going to have to do this. If she finds that bloody dent in that bloody phone, I'm a dead man. I'm going to have to move out of the house. She'll kill me. And then I managed to convince her and say, look, okay, here's the money. If it's 350 quid, just pay it. If it's more, then I'll give you more. So I gave him money, and I was like, great. Okay, they've got the phone. She hasn't realised that the phone's not there. And I was like, happy dooey. I was like, please just go there tomorrow. It opens at 11. And, I'll come around and, the thing is, they can't tell me when it's finished, like when they're done. So I have to make up another excuse to go round there and say, something, I don't know, I think I said like, I think I had to walk the dog or something, you know what I mean? I just went round there just to walk the dog because my dad was feeling tired or something. But anyway, that's going too far ahead. But basically, they say, okay, yeah, we'll go to Milton Keynes. We'll sort it out for you. Don't worry, we'll sort it out. I was like, great. So I said to my partner, I was like, okay, let's go to this place then tomorrow after we take the kids swimming because they have swimming lessons. And, it could be nice. And basically she says, oh, no, I want to go to Milton Keynes tomorrow. I'm like,
oh, dear.
Oh, yeah? And I was like, what's that? Oh, Zagny's new shoes. Our son needs new shoes. And I was like, oh, what can I say? Like, I can't say no, can I, if he needs new shoes? Because they're starting at home. I can't say, oh no, you can't do that. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, well yeah, let's go. And then basically, because me, my sense of directions with cars, I don't have a sat nav built in my car. I use Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure.
And she's like, so I'm in the car. And I'm like, oh, did you? I said, oh, make sure you bring your phone. She's like, why? I just said, oh, just just in case, I need to contact you. And I said to her, oh, can we use your phone for the sat nav? And she goes, oh, where's your phone? And I said, oh, it's I think I left it at my parents' house, or I think I left it at home. I left it at home. And she's like, and she's got really angry at me. She got really, really, what's the point me buying you a phone if you're gonna leave it at home? If you only knew the truth behind it, you would be going. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was in the rush, with the kids trying to get them ready, making up excuses. So we go to Milton Keynes, and normally my dad, basically in Milton Keynes, you have to pay for parking everywhere. Like you have to pay. And my dad told me, it's like, oh, if you park down this little street down here, it's free parking, and it's only a short walk to the mall. So we use the same parking area as what my dad does.
You do.
Yeah. So we go there, but luckily he's not there, and I'm panicking. I'm like, wait a minute. So we got there at like 11:30, and he's not there, and this shop opens at 11. So I'm like, we're going to be in Milton Keynes, and they're going to be walking around, probably after us, or I'm thinking it's okay though. Like Milton Keynes is a big place.
It's a big place,
and even if they do see him, I'm just gonna say, oh, they're shopping, blah blah.
Yeah, it's just, oh hi, how are you, and everything, and no one has to mention the iPhone.
Exactly.
Until Mumby's like, oh, you didn't happen to pick up Tommy's iPhone, did you? Because apparently you left it at your house. No.
Well, the only problem in which I could see, in which could have been a real possibility, was that, and I don't know how, but some sort of God came out and saved me. So we're sitting down, okay, eating lunch. This must have been like.
So where did you go for lunch?
1 o'clock. We made our own. We brought our own lunch.
Okay. I'm only asking because I know where the Apple Store is. And did you go to Clark's? Where did you go for the shoes?
Oh yeah, Hold on. You're skipping ahead.
I'm just trying to picture, because Milton Keynes is a big place. So I'm just trying to picture about where you all are. So whereabouts were you for lunch?
Just before Marks and Spencer's.
Oh, quite close to the Apple Store then. That's not the end of the Milton Keynes Centre you want to be. You want to be down by John Lewis, mate.
but yeah, exactly. But before then, before we got to, because she said she wanted to go Marks and Spencer's to look at some food and some clothes for our daughter, schoolwear stuff. And but before then, right, we're eating food. Okay, we are eating food. I think I made like sandwiches, and we're sitting there, and we're eating. And who do I see come across my eye? The two of them, my parents.
Oh dear.
And she is holding, and because I delivered the iPhone, okay, but I also delivered it inside the iPhone case.
Oh.
Okay, so I gave her the iPhone case as well. No, not the bag.
Right, the box.
The Apple box. So she's holding it in her hand, and I'm like, huh? in my head, when you have like an instant like scare, like
your stomach drops.
Yeah, exactly. And out of nowhere, my partner's like, "Oh, hello," and I'm like, my eyes just go like this, right? And my parents keep on walking, and out of nowhere, this lady comes towards my partner and says, "Hello, I haven't seen you in ages."
The perfect distraction.
And my parents were right behind, and I don't know how my partner did not see, or even my kids, because my kids
did they
always
see
spot
you? Did your parents see you?
No. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh God, it's like, oh my God, there she is, and she's holding the iPhone. She's not even discreetly like putting it in her bag. And because I questioned her later about this as well. Like, why was you holding it? And she's like, I didn't know where the store was. I thought it was close by, so that's why she had it ready to get it out.
Right. Okay.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, I got away with that. I don't know how I got away with it, but I got away with it. And then my next thought is exactly your thought. It's like, wait a minute, the Apple Store is really close by, and they must have gone there by now. Okay? And then I was like, okay, it takes, some reason in my head, right, I looked it up, how long does it take to like replace a screen? Okay? And it says it can take up to 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, that's great, 15 minutes. So I just got to keep her occupied for 15 minutes, or like, at least half an hour maybe.
Sure, yeah.
So we go to Marks and Spencer's, and basically, so the shoe shops are right next to the Apple Store as well.
No, which
you got like there's a shoe shop.
It's on the other side, isn't it? It's opposite.
In the outside bit, there's a few shoe shops. So
you should have gone Clark's. That's literally the other end of the centre. But
well, strangely enough, though, so we're Marks and Spencer's. And for some reason, there is shoes for some reason in the clothing store in Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, let's go to the shoe store and whatever name it is, and it's right next to the Apple store." I was like, "Oh, hold on a minute. I think my son. I think he likes these shoes." So, and normally I would be like dead against buying shoes in Marks and Spencer's, but these shoes were like 20 quid, and they seemed to fit him. Like he didn't even get his feet even like measured or anything. I'm like, these shoes fit. He seems happy with them. He seems comfortable walking around in them. So we just bought them. I was like, great. And thank God, I'm telling you now, because later that day, I got home and I said, okay, I need to, I said I had to take the dog out and help my dad because he's a bit tired. Sorry. Before that though, we were walking back towards our car. So we're still in Milton Keynes. We've done all of our shopping. She says, okay, I want to go home. And we go back to the car. And guess what my daughter says?
There's Granddad's car.
There's Granddad's car. I was like, that's not Granddad's car either. That's not Granddad's car. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you know what? You know what my partner said? She goes, that's not Granddad's car. That's like a sports version. And I can tell that's Granddad's car. I was like, I can see inside that. It's his car. It's even got the car seats in the back of his car.
Yeah.
Like the baby's. I was like, this must be like, Anyway, so basically, I get home and I was like, okay, I need to take the dog out because my dad's really tired. And so I got home and luckily, I basically said like, yeah, did you not see me in the mall? We were literally sitting there and I saw you walk past and I don't know how Mavi not saw you and you was holding the iPhone case thingy and she's like, and thank God we did not go down to the iPhone, like near the iPhone store, because they were in there for an hour and a half because there was a massive queue.
You don't know this. You can pre-book an appointment.
No, they waited for like an hour and a half. So that would have been disastrous if we went down there and she saw, because I have a special case. It's not like my iPhone. It's just like, it's unique. It has pictures in the case where you can see of the children. So that is my iPhone. So she would have saw, and she knows that my dad has an Android and my mum has an Android phone. She would have been like, what's going on? Well, you getting an iPhone now? Like, she would have instantly questioned it. So thank God we didn't go down there. And it gets even better. He said, it gets better. No, in a good way. He says, your phone screen is not cracked. It looks like someone put a screen protector on your phone.
Oh, okay.
And the screen protector took all of the damage.
Oh, good.
Okay. So they put a new screen protector on it.
Yeah.
And because we work for the NHS, pretty much the whole family nearly, we got a blue light discount as well. It was like on the screen protector. So it only cost me like 30 quid.
Okay.
Might be still sound expensive, but I was like, great.
Do you have right? So you own your house, don't you? You have.
Well, no, I don't own it. I pay a mortgage.
You have a mortgage. Do you have homeowners insurance?
Yeah, I think
that
so. Yeah.
Might
home
cover your iPhone, but you need to tell your insurance what you have. Have a look into that. It depends on who your insurer is. If you've got there's a few different ways you can actually get your phone insured. Obviously, you can pay like £8 a month for phone insurance, but that's quite a bit. If you have a premium bank account, so if you pay extra to get more features in your bank account, often phone insurance is included in that. So that might be 15 quid a month. So that could be worth it because you get higher interest on your savings and you get insurance on your phones, maybe multiple phones. So have a look into that. And you didn't, you had no idea your phone had a screen protector on it. No.
I think she must have put it on.
Well, luckily for you, she had.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been. That's the thing. I don't really understand how it works. Like how the screen protector shows that there's damage, but it seems like it absorbs.
Some screen protectors are glass, not plastic. So that's probably what you had. You had a glass one, so it cracked and not the screen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen the same way again in the future. Because, like you said, you don't know how you cracked it. Like, did you crack it because you knocked it against a door in your pocket? Did you bend down? Because the other thing is you might have bent down and do you remember the iPhone 6 bend gate? You might have, like, bent the phone just enough to kind of, like, just and it just kind of like split or something like that. And I presume you'd know if you dropped it, wouldn't you? Like you'd know if you...
Oh yeah, no, I haven't dropped it.
And I will say something about the iPhone 15 is that the screen, so not the screen protector, but the screen on the iPhone 15, it is actually a lot softer than previous iPhones. So the upside is if you drop it on the ground, it's actually not that likely to crack. The downside is it's actually very easy to put scratches and gouges in it. So I've got an iPhone 15, had it since October, and I've got scratches all over the screen. And I have actually dropped my phone on the ground, and I don't have any cases. I've got nothing on my phone. I've dropped it on the ground, and it hasn't broken at all.
The thing is, I spoke to my manager about it, and the guys at work, and they said you might want to, like you say, get some insurance.
It's a shame you didn't get Apple Care, because that would have cost you £25.
Exactly.
To get it screen repaired.
I think that's what he said. I think that's what he said. The guys at work said you should get Apple. But the thing is, you know me, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it in this bag. And that's the thing. I was thinking at this point, like, keep it in the bag, keep using my Android phone as a SIM, and just get the iPhone out when I actually need it, and just leave that at home. And the thing is, I could just pretend that the iPhone is inside the bag by putting the Android phone in this little bag thing. But then the thing is, when she says, "Can I use your phone to take a picture?" then I'm screwed.
I mean, you've got to not be afraid to use the thing.
I am. After that experience,
you shouldn't be.
After that experience, who can't blame me? I'm like, all this trouble, like, and all this trouble for my family as well. I was like, why have you bought me something like this? With me and the kids, especially kids, it just can't look after this stuff. It just gets destroyed.
You could have just given it to kids for half an hour and then come back with, what are you doing? What have you done?
Yeah, well, that would have been. Why has he got your phone? Why did you not put it in the bag?
I was letting him play Zelda on the Delta store, trying to play old Game Boy games. By the way, talking about that, did you know you can play Game Boy games on your iPhone now?
Yeah, it's on the iOS, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Delta.
I won't be doing that though. I will not be doing anything like that. I'm very scared touching it. So if I have my Android phone, I'm just using that now.
So you live to tell another tale, but the tale is, I'm not using it. It's going in the bubble wrap, never to be seen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And she's like, I forgot to mention this as well, because like one of my kids is like said to me when I didn't have the phone, "Daddy, can you take a picture of me on the monkey bars? Take a video." I'm like, "Oh yeah. Go on, you go, and I'll take a picture." And thankfully, I don't know where Maddie was, but she was somewhere else. I think she was with Zach, and she's like, "Daddy, I didn't see you get your phone out." I was like, "Yeah, I got my phone out. I took the pictures, took the videos."
Daddy, Dad, you're lying to your children.
And she's like, "Dad, have you really got your phone?" I was like, yeah, it's in there. Yeah, I've got my phone. You can see it in the bag. Look. But I was like grabbing the bag, and it's like, that's the thing. I was carrying around the Android phone in the bag. Oh, I'm crazy. I don't know. I just like, it's just like these situations could only happen to me. It could only happen to me.
Well, of course they'll only happen to you because you have a weird outlook on things. So
exactly. Maybe that just doesn't help. I don't know. I to be honest, I'm not the guy that likes new tech. Like we've had loads of discussions about tech in general, and I'm the kind of guy that does like older tech. Like I was using the Dell that he sold me, the computer. And that's like, for these podcasts, where I have an old computer that I bought off Josh for like £10, and it's like a piece of trash computer. But to me, it's like the greatest thing in the world. Because I like old
tech. This is the thing, right? There are appropriate times for you to use retro technology, or if you don't want to call it retro technology,
I know that.
reusing, recycling, all that kind of stuff. That's not a problem. But there's a few instances where it's not appropriate. So you have a 15-year-old computer running an unsupported operating system, and you're trying to record a podcast. That's not a time where you should be using that computer. You want to take pictures of your children that you want to enjoy in 15, 20, 30 years' time. that's not a time to be wishing you still had an iPhone 4S with its dodgy connector, so it's never fully charged, and the camera looks like something from 2012. You know, you, as a parent, need to have an iPhone 15 Pro because you need to take pictures of your children when they are at this age. And yeah, okay, I don't have many pictures of my childhood because we only had film cameras and it was very expensive to buy a camera and buy film and get film developed. I have one video of me as a child because my parents didn't own a video camera. They had to borrow one when I turned 1 year old and had my birthday party. I literally have one video of me as a baby or a toddler, and I got nothing until, I don't know, I got a phone and I was 15 years old or something. But you can do that now. You've got the money. Okay, a 15 Pro is a little bit excessive. However, if you look after the damn thing, you should be able to use this phone for like 7 years, 10 years while it's supported by Apple, and even after it's no longer supported by Apple. And that will still be a great phone with a great camera for both video and for pictures.
I definitely agree. It's just my worry in my head that it costs so much money. And if this thing
I
breaks,
get that.
I'm a dead man. That's my biggest worry.
Get yourself an OtterBox. It's like impact protection all around, and you've already got the screen itself covered. That's the other thing is, do be careful when it is in your pocket, because little impacts like that can happen, and that's where you can do some real damage. I'll send you something, an Amazon link, something that will do quite well.
Yeah,
it's made for children, but I think you'd benefit from it.
I sent you that video on the group chat about the Xbox One being able to be jailbroken.
I saw you sent the video. I haven't watched it.
No, that's fine. So basically, so I was quite fortunate enough I digged out my old Xbox One. So the jailbreak can be applied to the Xbox series of consoles.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I'm not going to do that.
No.
I just, because basically you don't even know what the jailbreak's going to be. And I think it's not going to be what everyone thinks it's going to be. I think it's just going to allow you to access dev mode on the front, on the home screen. And that's pretty much it. You're not going to be able to play. You're not going to be able to
install. Hasn't that already been out, or did they patch it?
They patched it out. I think there is workarounds, but they keep bringing updates to it. So you have to you can access dev mode, but you have to pay a license for it. And I think this jailbreak is going to allow you to basically just not pay the license and just use dev mode.
Oh, right, okay. So it's not like dev mode isn't really available, but you're just getting around paying for it. I see.
That's what is rumored, okay? And the guy who's releasing the jailbreak is don't get too don't think it's a full jailbreak, because it's not a full jailbreak. So we don't really know exactly what the jailbreak is. But so I updated to the firmware, and I've put my console offline. You also got to download this script editor that was on the store, and what that allows you to do, it just basically you feed it a text file and it just runs the script. I don't know why Microsoft had that on the store, but for some reason now they've taken it off the store, so you can't download it, so you can't do it. And they've also patched the jailbreak, so you can't, even if you turn your Xbox on now, there's no way of getting to that jailbreakable firmware. So you had to download that firmware and then go offline. So I downloaded the game script, but at the time they didn't know that you could also download a notepad application where you could copy,
create your own script.
Well, basically open a file. So what people were doing is going on a computer, putting the text onto a notepad, put it on a USB stick, attach it to your Xbox, open the file on Notepad on the application, save it, and then you go to the script extractor and just run the Notepad. But they didn't say you needed that at the time, so I didn't get the Notepad application. So they were like, it's kind of risky. You could try and like at the time they were like, there is a new firmware coming out, but it seems like it's only coming out in certain regions. So it's up to you if you want to go back online, download the notepad, and then go back offline. But some people are saying that's just too risky because they can like basically if you go online and they can see that you've got the the script extract
installed on your system. Yeah.
Yeah, they can revoke the license even if you got it installed. So they can revoke it. So it's best to remain offline. So they're suggesting now that what you need to do is the people who haven't got the Notepad application installed, you have to use a Raspberry Pi Pico device. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I've got Raspberry Pi and I've got a Raspberry Zero. I don't know about the Pico.
Yeah, so it seems like a little board, and you can basically feed it instructions, and you gotta like basically you gotta connect. I'm not sure how it works, but you gotta like put it into like a boot mode, and you have to like you can place like a text file inside it, and then what you have to do is plug it into your Xbox. Once you get into the script extractor, and it will start running, feeding in the code. So it only costs like £2-3 to buy off Amazon. So I'd be interested if the jailbreak does come out and it is like worth doing. I might buy one of those Pico devices and see what I can do. But I've only done it on the Xbox One. That was just I didn't know if you know what the Pico, but it seems like it's just this little board in which you can.
Yeah, it sounds like. So maybe it's not a full Raspberry Pi, but it's like one of these sort of. Is it like an Arduino? Bit more. So like the Raspberry Pi obviously is more like a slightly, I don't want to say underpowered, but a low-powered desktop PC or headless server sort of thing. And then you've got these sort of like Arduino devices where you put code on it, which it can execute, but it's not like it's running a full operating system. So maybe the Pico is more like the Arduino or these other... There's at school we got these things called microbits, and it's just a very, very, very simple board, and you download code onto it, and then it can sort of like run. It's got LED displays, like a segment, not like 7 segments, but it's got like a 4x4 row of LEDs, and you can have like words, letters, numbers, graphics, sort of like carouseling around the screen. So maybe it's something closer to those than a full-on Raspberry Pi desktop device.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Apparently, the jailbreak's coming out next month. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll wait and see what it does. With me, I'm quite tight. It's like if it's not worth, I'm not going to spend like £3 just to have this device. It's not even worth it.
We'll look forward to hearing your progress.
Oh, Audacity just stopped responding. What's going on there? But yeah.
Don't you dare lose that recording. You might have hit your 4 gig limit on that laptop.
Maybe. Let's stop recording now. I'm up to an hour. Well, I'm going to go and play. I've been playing Dragon Age Origins on the RPCS3 emulator on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
And it's not I'd say like it's 80% like nearly completely 100% playable. Sometimes there's like some like audio crackling when you're going against enemies and stuff, but like and I'm getting like 2 hours and 10 minutes of battery life, which is not bad because that emulator like takes up it's a very heavy emulator to run. But it's so cool that you're like I can just like you might be thinking why don't you just buy the PC version, but the PC version, the first game doesn't support controllers. So I want to run it the PS3 emulator because it has controller support. And that's how I played it in the past. So it's kind of cool that I could just have my PS3 experience is on a handheld now. Not saying that's every game, but it's one of the games that does work quite well.
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit of all this stuff, isn't it? I don't know. Do you know something? I mean, I know we're not really recording anymore, so I shouldn't be going too much into this. But obviously, Microsoft said something about game preservation. They're committing to game preservation, so it will be interesting to see what they mean by that and how far they're willing to take that. Is it just a case of they're preserving games since they made that announcement? So Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Xbox Next Gen, or will they actually actively work at making Xbox original and 360 games still able to be played on modern hardware.
Yeah, I think there was.
The cynical part of me thinks I know what their answer is going to be, but I would like to hope that they might be doing what I don't expect them to do.
Well, I think the reason why they had to stop it is because they were spending a lot of time, not just. It's a lot of legal factors involved, unfortunately, trying to get those games on.
Oh no, I mean they don't need to worry about where if they need a license, they don't need to worry about it. But if they don't need the licenses, then I hope they do everything they can technically to make it happen. If there's licensing reasons why they can't do it, I think that's fine to leave it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing, because it's like that one music track in that one game has prevented the game from getting backwards compatible. So what do you do?
Yeah, and I think, but that's out of their hands.
Exactly.
So I don't blame them for not doing anything with that. So I wouldn't have concerns if they can't. I mean, we've had this issue with GTA because they have so much licensed music and they didn't get perpetual licenses. And hopefully video games are learning from that mistake and getting perpetual licenses, which costs more money, but then you don't have the problem. Scrubs, the TV show, Scrubs had the same issue with a lot of their early music. So in the earlier seasons, there was some really iconic music used.
Yeah.
If you watch the DVD version, it's got the licenses because they were last printed in like 2015 or something. But if you watch Scrubs on Disney, because I think that's who owns it now, someone's had to go in and change all the music.
Yeah.
And there's some really iconic scenes in Scrubs, like super iconic. And they've got completely different music, and it feels so different. It doesn't feel the scenes; they just don't work without the right music. So hopefully game companies are being sensible with their music and getting the appropriate licensing to not have to run into that issue.
The first time I ever noticed that was I used to grow up watching Malcolm in the Middle. At first I kind of hated that show, but I really did kind of appreciate it.
Grew to like it.
And basically, the whole series was not released on DVD. Only the first season was released on DVD. And I believe the seventh, the seventh season was released as well. But the rest of them were never released on DVD.
That's so true.
The only way you could watch it is on TV. So, back in the day...
As in on streaming or when it's on TV?
When it's on TV. We're talking when it's on TV. It was never, the first season was on DVD, and then, the last season, and that's it. The rest of the season's not on DVD. So, fortunately, someone online had ripped all the episodes off the TV. And then of course you download them, don't you? That's what I did back in the day. So I had the TV rips of each episode, and then I'm not sure. I've got so they basically re-released it fully, and they re-released it in HD in 1080p, and also I think Disney Plus now acquired the rights for Malcolm. And I was watching I think they took one of the scenes and they put it on their YouTube channel. One of the funny scenes, and I was watching it, and this scene is where basically Hal wants to get his wife a present for her birthday. I think it's like a foot massage, and there's only one left, and someone else has bought the foot massage. So he goes to the guy, "Look, I'll give you anything you want. Please let me have that foot massage." And the guy's like, "No." And then instead of just taking it on the chin and moving on, he just basically steals the foot massage, and then he runs off with it, and there's this music, this really funny music that goes with it, and it really connects because he's just running around with his foot massage thing, and it's hilarious. But then I watched the same scene that was clips on the Disney Plus, what they're advertising, and it's got different music, I was like, wait, that's different music. I swear that's different music. So one day I remember I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to check that out. So I dug up my old copy that I downloaded 10 years ago of the TV rips, found the episode, and it was different music. And it's just one of those things where obviously they didn't have the rights for that music, so they had to put in another set of music, and it just doesn't work for that scene. Or maybe it's because I just noticed it.
And the thing is, that's Disney. Disney are the king of copyright. They are literally the reason why copyright has changed so much in the last 50 years.
Well,
And they're like abusing it completely themselves. And,
I don't know.
yeah.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if it is Disney, because I know that they have.
Well, it'll probably be Fox, who are owned by Disney.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
I mean, Disney own everything.
The thing that they have, I think they have released it. Like, you can buy the seasons. I think you can buy them outright.
What like digitally, like on Amazon or iTunes?
Yeah, I believe so, in like 1080p. So I don't know, part of that, they had to change the music, and then Disney just acquired the rights for Malcolm. So I don't know if Disney have made the specific changes, or it was part of this
other change.
This package to get them out there so everyone can access them.
Yeah, sure.
Either on streaming services or on Disney Plus. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
How's the recording coming along?
I've done it. I did it like 10 minutes ago. Sorry.